Although Iran fields a particularly large fleet of close to 300 fighters, the obsolescence of its predominantly Vietnam War-era aircraft was a primary factor preventing its air force from making a significant contribution to air defense duties, with participation in counterstrikes on Israeli or American targets considered even less viable. These limitations placed a heavy burden on Iran's more modern ground-based air defense network to protect the country's airspace, and on its sizable ballistic missile arsenal and drone fleet for counterstrikes. The lack of a viable fighter fleet is considered to have been a pivotal factor in Tehran's failure to deter Israel and its supporters in the Western world from initiating hostilities. The future of the Iranian fighter fleet has long been widely speculated, with the country having been reported in the 1990s to be negotiating to procure modernized Russian MiG-29 fighters and MiG-31 interceptors. Reports of interest in both aircraft continued into the 2000s, while the following decade unconfirmed reports indicated that a licensed production deal for the Su-30 was under consideration. The fleet's future today remains highly uncertain, with Iranian sources having reported since 2022 that Su-35 fighters have been ordered, although deliveries have not materialized. More recently, speculation has grown that the country could procure Chinese J-10C fighters, which are more sophisticated than their Russian counterparts, and would provide a hedge against over-reliance on Moscow as a supplier. After Pakistan Air Force J-10Cs was credited with major victories against some of India's most capable fighters in early May, the aircraft's appeal to foreign clients was expected to increase. Iran's near-unique combination of a sizable defense budget, imminent security challenges, and a very large fleet of fighters in need of replacement has made the future of its air force a topic of particularly widespread speculation. An assessment of Iran's defense needs, however, indicates that the most optimal fighter for the country may be the Chinese J-16 rather than the much lighter J-10C or competing Russian aircraft. The J-16 was developed as a heavyweight counterpart to the J-10C as part of a high-low combination and is broadly considered an analog to the U.S. Air Force F-15EX, where the J-10C is an analog to the F-16 Block 70, although the two Chinese designs are considerably newer and have significant advantages over their American counterparts. The fighters are heavily enhanced fourth-generation designs that were developed using technologies from fifth-generation programs, with their composite materials, stealth coatings, weaponry, sensors, and other avionics having commonalities with those of the J-20 fighter. While the J-10C is a lightweight and relatively short-ranged aircraft with a modest radar size, however, the J-16 combines similarly sophisticated technologies with one of the largest airframes and highest endurances in the world. The J-16 was developed as a very heavily enhanced derivative of the Soviet Su-27 flanker air superiority fighter, and thus shares a lineage with the Russian Su-30, Su-34, and Su-35. Although China fields such aircraft in significantly greater numbers than Russia does, and has brought their capabilities up to a far higher standard. Like all flankers, the J-16 is capable of carrying some of the highest internal fuel loads and weapons payloads, and one of the largest radars of any tactical combat jet in the world. Although its radar size is similar to those of Russian heavyweight fighters such as Su-35, it is considerably more sophisticated, reflecting the vast discrepancies in the Chinese and Russian electronics industries and broader technological bases. The J-16 and its carrier-based counterpart, the J-15B, are the only fighters that combine such large radars with comparably high levels of sophistication, with American fighters with similarly advanced radars all being restricted to carrying far smaller primary sensors. The F-35, for example, carries the AN/APG-81 radar, which is less than half the size of the J-16's own. Like the J-10C, the J-16 has advantages over competing Russian fighters across a wide spectrum of performance parameters, with its situational awareness being far higher due to use of more advanced data links and superior sensors, while its air-to-air missiles are significantly more formidable. The PL-15 and PL-16 missiles are broadly considered to be equivalents to the American AIM-260 and far outperform Russia's R-77-1, which equips its frontline fighter units. Its advantages in visual range combat are similarly wide due to the advanced capabilities of the PL-10 missile, which allows for off-bore sight targeting at more extreme angles.